Talk to Me was directed by Danny and Michael Filippo, who are of the channel RackaRacka on YouTube. So you probably know them from there. It's a pretty famous channel with like almost 7 million subscribers. And in this movie, we follow a group of friends who have discovered how to conjure spirits using an embalmed hand. And once they become hooked on the new thrill, it seems to be very exciting until one goes way too far and it starts unleashing some terrifying supernatural forces. I pretty much just read out the IMDb plot synopsis to you, and there's a reason for that. Because I don't want to give too many details regarding this movie before you go in. I didn't even watch the trailers for it, honestly speaking. I wanted to go in as blind as possible because one thing that I've realized, especially when it comes to the horror movies that come from A24, there is something very interesting and surprising about a lot of them, that it's always impressive to see all of it for the first time. And so I try to keep things as, brief as possible when it comes to details. The trajectory over here from YouTube to a major film like this, which is being hailed as the best horror movie of the year so far, it's quite something. And it's also really cool if you've been a fan of them for years, because you just get to see that progress along the way, and how far people have come in that sense. And so it makes things a little more fun to experience as a result of that. And I have to say, this is a fantastic horror movie, and yes, maybe my new favorite. Actually, you know what? It is my new favorite horror movie of the year. What they've pulled off here is nothing short of remarkable. It really is so seamless going to something such a at such a big scale when it comes to showcasing your talent, and the way they've handled all of the horror elements and how it builds along the way. Because yes, the movie has some striking stuff early on, but it takes some time to really get into the things that you really are probably paying full price for, and it makes sure you get your money's worth even in that sense. It is a wonderfully done movie with a surprisingly compassionate storyline to it at times. There's a lot of emotional depth to it that I did not expect, and it made some moments incredibly moving, and it led to some really great character work as well, and you sort of understood each one's plight and each one's struggles along the way, at least the main ones that we focus in on. There's a couple of side characters that we kind of skip past in that department, but they give you some basic stuff over there too. And it also leads to some really great performances, particularly from Sophie Wilde. I'm not sure what else she's done before this, but if this is one of her first movies, major ones, I can't wait to see what she does next. She is incredible in this movie, putting on a really great performance, and she's a really great talent. There are some scenes in particular that she really has to, use the full range of whatever she's got in her, and she manages to do that and then some. A really great lead performance. But there's also a couple of really great supporting performances, like her friend played by Alexandra Jensen, whose name is Jade. She was really good in the movie too, and she's pretty much the second protagonist, the one you're following along for the rest of it. She's with her mom, played by Miranda Otto, who I'm sure most people know who that is, and I thought she was really good as well. There's a younger kid who's in the middle of all of this. His name is Daniel. That kid, really great too. I don't know what it is, man, but horror movies sometimes they direct younger actors so well. You just have to just take a second to really give all the praise to that, and it really does. You can see that talent on screen here. Talent, you're gonna hear me say that a lot, because this movie is loaded with it. From the way it's shot, gorgeous to look at, the amazing sound design, which some of it is just strikingly loud, and even the score, which is incredibly creepy, and even the subtle moments of humor that are sprinkled in along with the seriousness. Like, there's a couple of moments which are like, that's actually kind of funny. And there's also an interesting commentary that is there throughout the entire film, really, especially when it comes to, social media and like viral, sensation stuff, that challenges that people do on certain apps. It just becomes this thing where it's like, if you take a challenge too far, things can go horribly wrong. I mean, we see this happen a lot of times with stuff like TikTok, where some kids will get together and they'll have this crazy idea for a challenge, but then eventually someone takes that challenge and takes it to a level which is not so great, and suddenly it starts to cause some really serious issues. People start to get affected by it. I mean, I still remember Tide Pod Challenge. You remember the Tide Pod Challenge? Because that happened. That's exactly what it is. And the film has a bit of a through line about that, when it comes to how dangerous these things can be. And I think it handled that extremely well. I don't even have too many issues with this movie. I'm trying to think about it, and frankly, I don't. There's very little nitpicks here and there, some stuff where you can probably be like, hey, maybe the dialogue's a little too, stilted maybe at times. It's not, always perfect or something. Or there's a few side characters, like I said, who just kind of disappear a bit. But beyond that, I really, really, really loved Talk to Me. I think it's a film that is genuinely very scary. It's very shocking at times. There's some moments that are definitely going to have you by surprise. Again, I don't want to give too many of those away because it's all meant to be seen, with a bigger crowd. So I hope you do. I hope that you go check this out with a lot of people. Like, this is a movie that's made for some very interesting audience reactions, so I'm hoping that you guys get to experience that with as many people as possible. I'm gonna give Talk to Me a 9 out of 10. It's been such a great week for movies, I've seen some really, really good stuff. People have been having a good time with Barbie and Oppenheimer as well, but, we've got some great stuff happening at the moment, and I can't wait to see what else is in store for the rest of the year. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Look forward to more videos very, very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the movies.